The Trump administration has opened up the faucet of the torrent of pain against Yemen once again. And I saw on my timeline from people in Yemen that some of those bombing campaigns actually impacted the civilian population, unsurprisingly. Let's take a look at how the American government is covering
Lucas
it.
Tomlinson is at the White House for us with the latest on those strikes. Lucas.
John, these are the most significant airstrikes since President Trump returned to the White House, and the first time U.S. jets have struck these Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen since President Trump returned to the White House. U.S. officials say F-18 Super Hornets from the flight deck of the USS Harry S. Truman were the vanguard of the strikes, along with Air Force fighter jets and drones. President Trump announcing the strikes just a few minutes ago on his Truth Social, saying, quote, Joe, today I have ordered the United States military to launch decisive and powerful military action against the Houthi terrorists in Yemen. They have waged an unrelenting campaign of piracy, violence.
Dude, the Trump administration is crazy, okay? Like, if you think the Biden admin was cucked by Israel, holy moly, okay? Let me tell you something. First of all, they fired the guy who talked to Hamas, who was like Jared Kushner's college buddy or whatever, because he went on television and was like, these guys they're humans, you know, we can deal with them. We're not cucked by Israel. We can do whatever we want. And then the next week he was like, nah, you're out. The you mean we can do whatever we want? No, we can't. Yeah, remember the guy that we watched? What was his name? Baylor or whatever? Yeah, they kicked him out. He got the Trotsky ice pick from the Trump regime. They moved him around. They didn't fire him, but they just moved him away from Israel. He's no longer doing Israel-related talks. So there's that. And also they're simultaneously talking about potentially striking Iranian targets again. The Pentagon has been drafting new military plans against the Houthis since Trump's decision to redesignate them as terrorist organizations several weeks after he assumed office. According to the U.S. official, after the Houthis downed a U.S. military drone 2 weeks ago, the preparations for the strikes accelerated. And in recent days, the main question became about best operational timing for the strikes. Trump approved the plan on Friday, and Saturday, he gave the final order to carry it out. The Trump admin had informed a small number of key allies in advance, Saudi Arabia and Israel. The official said other relevant allies and senior members of Congress were informed after the strikes began. Wait, what? Shalom Houthis. We are attacking the Houthis. Biden, we will attack the Houthis. Wait, what? They both did the same thing. I guess Biden did it wokely. Like when Biden deployed $1 billion worth of munitions on Yemeni soil, he did it in a woke and gay kind of way. Whereas when Trump is doing it, he's doing it in like a big dick kind of way. You know what I mean? Like a strong, muscular guy that I would really like to suck off. Can you explain how one of the poorest countries on earth somehow threatens the security of the American people? Can you tell us how American tax dollars transform into bombs, missiles, and warships only to be used against a country that has never threatened them? Yeah. So attacking shipping traffic to and from the U.S. isn't a threat? Yes, dude. It's called a blockade, okay? Many countries do it. America does it all the time. And for no good reason, as a matter of fact. An OSINT defender, of course. Please stop. I have a peer adversary. Stand by for TLM coordinates. Oh, hell yeah. Ugh, I'm jerking off to the thought of our tax dollars going to blow up children in Yemen. It's so sick. It's so sick. How dare they say that we have a coastline and we're going to actually use that coastline to strategically try and economically harm the state that's doing a genocide. Oh, how dare they do that? Oh, they can't do that. You can't do that. Send in the dogs. Awful reminder to chat that each one of those missiles like 2 to 4 years wages of an average chatter. Yeah, can someone send me that TikTok of the cost of like each deployed munition? There's a bunch of them. It's great. I love watching those TikToks. It's like, oh hell yeah, this is the best use of my tax funds. Honestly, my tax dollars, baby. I love it. Multiple people's tuitions, like one munition that costs like multiple people's yearly wages. These aren't even the big boys, remember. It's okay, we'll fire more federal wage employees to pay for it, baby. I love being a peaceful dove. Woo! Hell yeah, brother, I love the peaceful dove. All hail the peaceful dove. Yep. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. I'm so hard right now. I'm a pathetic scrub who has nothing to look forward to. So the only way that I can feel like everything that I'm doing on God's green earth as I jerk off and cry myself to sleep every night is thinking about the mighty long dick of the American military. What is the American military doing? That's right, dominating one of the poorest countries on the planet. Why are they doing that? Because one of the poorest countries on the planet decided to use its own coastline to try and put an economic penalty to our other imperial vestige in the region doing a genocide, to stop them from doing that genocide, which, by the way, also we're paying for. We're paying for that genocide as well.
And John, recall, it's just days after taking office, one of President Trump's first executive orders was redesignating the Houthis a foreign terrorist organization after the Biden administration removed them. The State Department made it official.
Wait, what? The Biden administration removed them? Yeah, they put it back on. Trump just escalated the terror watch list severity again. That's it. Biden literally put it back on. Don't worry. So we could do Operation Prosperity Guardian, Operation Save Amazon Prime 1. This is Operation Save Amazon Prime 2.
Earlier this month, marking Houthi leaders ripe for assassination. The targets in today's strikes include air defense systems and missile and drone factories, and also include a strike against one of the Houthis' top missile officers. The Houthis are backed by Iran. Many consider them modern-day Barbary pirates. Since the October 7th massacre, they have launched over
Many consider them modern day Barbary pirates. Yeah. Listen, these guys are real bad guys. They're just doing pirate for the sake of piracy, okay? Please don't look into why these dudes are doing this, okay? I beg you. Please. After all, they've never communicated why they did it. Also, please don't ask the question, why did they stop doing this when Israel did a ceasefire? Nah, they're just pirates, dude. Please, they're modern day Barbary pirates.
100 attacks against commercial shipping. U.S. warships also came into the crosshairs of the Houthis. Dozens of times in recent years, the Houthis launched anti-ship ballistic missiles and crewed drones at the American warships. None were successful and all were shot down. And just a few days ago, Houthis leader said attacks would resume against shipping in the Red Sea, and including Israeli ships. Now, General Kurilla, the head of U.S. forces in the Middle East, has been itching to launch these strikes to reopen.
Yeah, they've been itching
In those vital shipping lanes and destroy Iran's proxy force in Yemen. Kurilla ordered Truman, the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier, back to the Red Sea late last month to beat.
Will all the liberals now get mad at Trump doing this because they hate Trump? Just kidding. Of course not. Are you kidding me? All the liberals are too busy yelling at leftists. Oh, man.
I'll also read a little more from President Trump's lengthy statement on Truth Social. He had a message to the Houthis. It says, quote, "Your time is up and your attacks must stop starting today. If they don't, hell will rain down upon you like never before. And to Iran, support for the Houthi terrorists must end immediately." And President Trump said,
how is this not considered an act of war? Seriously, how the government is not spending this? Dog, Biden did it too. I asked the same question back then. It just kind of happens, okay? It just kind of is a thing. And you just get to do that because Yemen is one of the poorest nations on the planet. That's it. Let's see what the Houthi statement was on the strikes, by the way. Houthi spokesman responded to renewed American airstrikes on the Yemeni capital. In a world governed by greed, interest, and fears, Yemen has emerged to act on the basis of moral and humanitarian values. Therefore, the war we are waging against America and its allies is a war between good and evil, between truth and falsehood. Thus, the people of this world are faced with two choices, with no third, either to stand with that truth or with that falsehood. Houthi Don LaFontaine. Based on this coverage, what percentage of Americans would know that the Houthis are the government of Yemen? They cover them as if they're rebels hiding in caves. It doesn't matter. Even if they were the government of Yemen, do you think America gives a fuck about bombing Yemen? Americans are stupid. They thought that Saddam Hussein did 9/11. Like, Americans will literally watch the TV and go, yeah, that makes sense. Give me the burger now. Also, how many McDonald's exist in Yemen? 0. Okay, there you go. That's how it works. No McDonald's means that's a territory you can bomb, unless they have nukes, in which case, then you can't bomb them. Hey, Hassan, can you explain why USA can't attack Iran directly? Because Iran has a tremendous arsenal in comparison to these other countries, and America, much like Israel, can only attack countries that have less retaliatory measures. And even then, it's usually a failure regardless. But yeah, it's going to be really funny when all these, I responded to Chris Cappy on this as well. I don't know why. He's just been showing up on my timeline a lot more, so I've just been responding to him. But he said, in order to stop the Houthis from threatening ships, we might need boots on the ground in Yemen. So far, evidence suggests airstrikes haven't been enough. Not saying we should do that, just saying if that's the goal, that might be the pill we need to swallow. I said they stopped when the ceasefire was implemented, only the restart when Israel stopped humanitarian aid from going in to Gaza. Maybe that's another solution that doesn't require 18-year-olds from Arkansas getting their dick shot off so that Israel can continue doing a genocide. I'm always hoping for a peaceful solution, Hassan. My point was that the current bombing campaign being conducted by Washington likely won't defeat the Houthis. Maybe I'm wrong, because that is the reality. Like, Ryan, good news then. A truce in Gaza and you get peace from Yemen. I mean, under Biden, we allowed Israel to bomb the airport in Yemen when the top World Health Organization fellow was there. That's true. We did do that. We let Israel bomb the airport in Sana'a that is the civilian airport, and the leader of the World Health Organization was there while they bombed it. It's on video. It is straight up on video where he has to run away. That's how little America and Israel gives a single about international rules, okay? It is psychotic. The Houthis' response, we will meet escalation with escalation, and the one who starts it is the most unjust. Looks like the Trump admin will continue the Biden admin's legacy of failure in deterring the Houthis, and the Yemeni civilians will continue to pay the price. Drop sites Shuaib al-Musawa. I'm saying that so poorly. I'm sorry. I've never seen this name before. Reports from Sana'a, where U.S. strikes on Yemen's capital have killed 9 civilians and wounded 9 others, according to a health ministry spokesperson who spoke with him. Most casualties appear to have resulted from a strike targeting the Sha'ub, a densely populated area where residential buildings are primarily made of mud bricks. Yeah, this was Trump's big, bold move right here. Also, Trump, funnily enough, looked like absolute garbage in this photo. Commander-in-chief, baby. Like, this motherfucker was golfing, dude. Oh, God. Yeah, low optics rent is right. You have to be out of your mind to see these photos of Trump overseeing airstrikes against Yemen and think he looks like a leader. Deeply low rent optics. Yeah, it is. Also, why is he wearing his own hat that is signed by him? That's so weird. He signed his own hat? Like, what is happening here? It's got to be weird, though, for all the NATO Andes who loved when Biden did this but hate Donald Trump because of the way he's dealing with Ukraine, to now turn around and have to say, like, nah, Mr. President, you're doing great. Please keep killing children in Yemen. That is awesome. Because that's all this is. That's what this is. Do not let a single person try to move the conversation away to some other dumbass reason. The Ansar Allah movement, okay, the de facto government of Yemen, started a blockade after Israel did a genocide in Gaza, after Israel started a genocide in Gaza. They said, we will stop when Israel stops its genocide. This is a moral position to take. No matter what people say, oh, their banner says curse the Jews or this or that. It doesn't matter, okay? They didn't do it because of anti-Semitism. They did it because Israel was doing a genocide. And guess what? Lo and behold, they literally stopped the blockade after the ceasefire was implemented. If they are doing this at the behest of anti-Semitism, they probably wouldn't have stopped. But they did. They stopped the blockade when the ceasefire started. And then a couple days prior, one of the spokespersons from the Ansar Allah movement came out and said, after Israel declared that they were stopping humanitarian aid from going into Gaza, which is, again, a human rights violation, a war crime, totally a continuation of Israel's genocidal actions in Gaza. They said that we're going to put the blockade back on. We're going to put the blockade back on. We covered it here. You might not have heard about it in mainstream news because they don't give a shit about stuff like that. And that's why they said that they were going to implement a blockade. In that process, they shot down a drone, an American drone, and basically in the process, America was already gearing up clearly to bomb Yemen again, and now they have started. And now all the Republicans have to sit around and be like, it's so sick when Trump does it. Mr. Peaceful Dove, by the way. Can't wait to send some American troops to Yemen. All right. We got to put boots on the ground, baby. Got to put those boots on the ground. There's a bunch of kids who want to get a communications major after getting up. We got to put those guys in Yemen. We got to put our boys in action. Why? For Israel, of course. God forbid we stop Israel from doing a materially and morally costly genocide. We can't do that. No more wars, remember.
That's right, John. Multiple times U.S. warships came under ballistic missile attack in the Red Sea and off the coast of Yemen and the Gulf of Aden. And just for context, that has never happened in world history. Ballistic missiles have never been launched at U.S. warships before. Thankfully, they were all shot down. But that was always a concern in the Pentagon. What if those missiles gets through? It was notable in President Biden, in his farewell address, he talked about U.S. forces not being engaged in combat. And if you looked at the Navy press release when the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower strike group returned from the Red Sea. They talked about hundreds of bombs being dropped against the Houthis, dozens of surface-to-air missiles from those Super Hornets shooting down those crew drones that are flying overhead. There was also an issue of cost. You know, these interceptor missiles launched from the guided missile destroyers and cruisers in the strike group, John, those missiles cost millions of dollars, shooting down what were, in essence, you know, flying lawnmowers launched from the Houthis, very crude drones, just, you know, $50,000 or so in cost. And the fact that these shipping lanes, vital shipping lanes that are needed for commerce, for the oil trade, have been essentially shut down since the October 7th massacre.
Dude, oh man, I'm so sad. I can't believe it. Guys, I just need you to remember there's no other way out of this. God forbid we tell Israel, you know, pack it up. It's over. God forbid. Can't do that. Nope. Can't do that. Gotta use more money. Gotta use more weapons. This country, man. So stupid. And all these absolute morons that have to pay, you know, 50 grand for a hospital visit, sit around and basically clap like seals whenever the American government's like, hell yeah, baby, we got to do it. We got to give him hell. It's so stupid. Ugh, it's so dumb. Yeah, there goes your food stamps, baby. There goes your health care. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you got too many potholes? Can't fix the potholes. Sorry. We got to go blow up children in Yemen. You understand? Why do we have to do that? Because, well, they have implemented a blockade. Why are they implementing a blockade? Well, because Israel's doing a genocide and it's their coastline.